Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another race here in the Premier Series. We're in round 10 here in Singapore. I'm new to this league. I usually commentate over in the Freshman in the Academy League, but I'm joined by a regular. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hi guys, it's Harold Neon here. Some people who may be watching the stream know me as Jared. I'll be co-commentator today. As we can see, Singapore is absolutely pouring down.
You wouldn't usually expect that in somewhere like Singapore, would you, for it to be raining? But all drivers are on full wets in this qualifying session, which really does mean the track is going to be filled with just lots of standing water on the track. It seems like, and it looks like it as well. As we can see, a few drivers are out on their out laps. Couldn't get my words out there.
Well, it's very interesting that Shanks is actually the first one to go out on the full wet tyres. His championship rival, who's actually leading the championship so far, is just not that far behind him. As it's definitely full wet, so there's no way this is in his. But yeah, I'm quite surprised Singapore has actually come wet and fully. In the race, possibly it could have been wet, but usually the weather is actually alright.
Yeah, definitely. Quite a few drivers out on their out laps. So we've got 19 people in today, and we've got a few replacements today, don't we?
Yes, that is correct. Play is one of the new Renault drivers, I believe, today as well, and I believe there was another Toro Rosso. Yes, there is. Gola. Apologies if I got your name wrong, Limit, but he will be in the Toro Rosso, I think, just for today, since Fire Tornado couldn't make it.
So we've got quite a few drivers on their out laps. No one on a flying lap yet.
Shanks is about to start his flying lap. He's coming around half the corners now.
Just come around the final corner, and he will be starting his first flying lap of this session, and the first flying lap overall of this session. Just keep an eye on him and see what time he puts in the Force India as he comes through the first few corners here in Sector 1.
Not going to be easy to settle up though, especially in these conditions. As you can see, he's really struggling with the throttle input and the steering right now, as both Toro Rossos are behind.
Definitely, yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for these drivers, especially with these conditions, and they seem to be getting it. They don't seem to be easing up at all, do they? In these, as the rain keeps on pouring and pouring down more standing water onto the track.
Yeah, that is true. Well, with a lot of people who've gone out on their outlets, there will be a lot of that standing water like off the racing line now as well. So
yeah, so it should hopefully get faster and faster throughout the session for the drivers, but we'll have to wait and see what times they put in here on these full wets, because I assume it'll be not a very fast time, but we'll have to see what Shanks will put in here as he's coming round towards the end of just comes into Sector 3 here. Right on board with him here, as he's going to be setting the benchmark for this session. A couple of drivers behind, not close behind him as well.
yeah, I think that's the Saint behind him, who's also on a lap just right behind him. So it looks like Saint's already a bit more confident in the wets. As here comes Shanks then, almost runs into the wall.
Almost does there. He's trying to keep that car under control in these wet conditions. Let's see what time he puts in here as he comes across the line. 2 minutes exactly, but Toussaint puts in a 1:58.2 and one-ups him there in the Toro Rosso.
It's a very good lap there. Possibly getting the 1:57s, as I believe Alex Gunnar Mack is next to cross line on a lap right now. As you can see, he's really struggling on the wets there. He was revving it a little bit just to try and keep it within the track, because he's coming around the final corner. He's going to set a 2:07 possibly. And yes, he does. He sets 2:07.9. Duke goes third with 2:05.
2:05 there. So drivers at the moment with times, and there's a few more coming around. Looks like Robert here. Robert Codd is going to be coming around the final corner here. Let's see what time he puts in. And he goes 5th, 2 minutes 11. I believe there was someone behind him.
His teammate Willie Sanker.
Yeah, in the Williams.
Now. He's going to do a 2:28.
2:28. He must have really been struggling there on those wet tyres. Dirty Larry, the People's Champion, just coming out the pits here.
Zaza is next up.
See what Zaza can put in the Ferrari, and he goes 3rd, 2 minute 4.9. Fairly decent lap from him. Puts him up into 3rd position.
Triple O's lost it. He's lost a bit of his front wing, and I've got to say, Triple O has had a real poor season with bad luck in races, but in quality he just lost it on those final 2 corners as one of the Red Bulls now coming from the line. And that's top step. Takes pole, 158.1. Oh,
Dutch actually goes first, doesn't he? Yeah, 156.7 there in the Renault.
Interesting lap then, as the other Toro Rosso of Gogler, his debut today. He'll be next to set a banker lap or a start lap for him as he comes around the final corner then. He also does a 158.5, so he's actually not that far off his teammate, Tissan, who's done a 158.2.
It is very good laps there from the 2 Toro Rosso drivers, and I think we've got a couple more people out on flying laps. One shot 2 down is just coming through sector 2, and Infamella is he's just coming around to start his flying lap of the session. But a couple of drivers on out laps as well, but looks like 156.7 by Play Dutch is the time to beat at the moment.
Yeah, with that 156.7, I did say to Saint possibly could set that bench time. But right now, he did a second lap, of course. He hasn't managed to do that. Maybe that second lap was to save his ERS, of course, as his yellows. And that is a race point. Is that Shankster? It is. Shankster's in the wall. And that isn't good at the moment. He's currently 5th in the quali. Got a bit of wing damage.
Wing damage. He looks like he's staying out the way of the other drivers that are coming past him. Very safe from Shankster there. Let's see, 1 shot 2 downs coming around the final corner here, so we'll see what time he puts in. Doesn't seem to be as fast as what some of the other drivers have done, but it's a 2 minute 3, so it's not bad. Puts him up into 7th position there.
Yeah, he won't be disappointed, as he is a quick driver. He's managed to challenge Shankster at one point, and also to Saint to try and win some races, but it just hasn't gone his way. But he shouldn't be that disappointed. He's currently midfield, as we don't know yet. The race could be dry, of course. And with that, everyone actually could be running a dry set. Maybe this is why the times aren't as quick, as actually Tissin has improved. He's in a 157 flat, and he's now in 2nd.
Very nice lap there from Toussaint. He'll be looking to find 3/10 from somewhere to catch up to Play Dutch there in the Renault. And there's still a few more drivers here who need to put in a time.
Yeah, you're right there. Tim's actually one of them, and Tim's done the exact same as his teammate Shankster.
He's gone straight into the wall, hasn't he? Yeah, down in sector 2 there.
Now, is that an issue with the brakes possibly on the racing point, or is that actually just lack of grip in that corner where you just slam the brakes, lock up, and you've just got nowhere to stop?
Seems like it. He's having real grip troubles here, Tim, actually. The man who won the academy under the... I was actually witnessed that happen, and he's shown his qualities in the freshman league as well last week, so I'm expecting big things from Tim, because I know his quality quite well.
And Tim will have to come in the pits as possible. There's only 7 minutes of the session, so probably 2 more runs he possibly could do on those wets. As both McLarens are out now on out laps, and Triple O low pin to get a good lap in. As I believe last week he actually was up there. Last week I wasn't here actually. I missed last week's comms. I believe he might have been up there. But no, I've got to say Triple O and Alex haven't had the best luck at certain bits of the season, as there's actually a racing point off in the pit area, and that's actually Tim. So Tim has actually been given a 5 quid place penalty with Dutch. That's interesting. So Dutch then has got a 5 quid place penalty. Well, not well, he might have. It might have only just been Tim as well. As I need Tim has one as well. As now we will go on board.
Infamella is come round the final corner. Puts in a,
yeah, he's invalidated again.
Invalid lap, yeah, from him once again. Black Country Mush is on a flying lap, so is X-Natty as well in the Alfa Romeo. A few drivers there on out laps who haven't put in times as of yet. Keep an eye on them, see where they can get on the in the table.
It's true, as currently Black Country Mush is actually purple right now on his lap, so he could possibly get near the top.
See what sector 3 times like as he comes through these tight corners here towards the end of the track, and see how that Mercedes car fares through these corners. Keep an eye on him here as he comes under the bridge through this slash chicane, and he'll be coming up round towards the long corner up into the start finish straight. So let's see what time he puts in as he comes across the line. He goes only 8th, actually, a 2-minute 2.3. It isn't bad, but it only puts him in 8th place, Black Country Mush.
Yeah, Black Country Mush lost a lot of time then in that final sector, as he was purple in sector 2, so he may have the pace there, but if he wants to try and get near the top, he's going to have to work on that sector 3.
Definitely, yeah.
I believe X-Natty was next. Oh, speaking of Black Country Mush, he's actually just lost it. Luckily, I think he got away without damage. The X-Natty did go 10th then with a 2.5.
He did, yes. That was the driver who moved up X-Natty. 2-minute 5, yes, in the Alfa Romeo, and his teammate actually hasn't put in a lap yet, and that's Dirty Larry here, the People's Champion, who is seems to be on a flying lap at the moment. Let's see what time he puts in when he comes round across the line. Infamella, I think, is on a time. He puts in a 2-minute 2.5, and that puts him in 9th place there in the Haas car.
Ooh, actually, I've just seen one of the Williams and the Ferrari are now banking on Inters. So they're possibly thinking it's Inters maybe, as Triple O is currently on his final lap. And he's messed it up. Oh,
he's gone very wide in that final corner there.
It still sets a time though. 2.8. So Larry also does a lap as well. He's now in 10th for the 2.4.1.
It's an Infamella actually just put in a time as well, and he went up actually into I think no, that wasn't Infamella actually. It was who was that just put in a time? That was it Duke that just went quickest? Yeah, it was. Duke moved up into 8th place, I believe, in the 2-minute 2.1 in the Renault.
Well, Tekers is out right now on a lap on the intermediate tyre. I don't think it's Inters yet. I could be wrong, of course, as he's really struggling with the turn-in.
He seems to be really struggling there, actually, but it's still absolutely pouring it down here, and maybe he's trying to see. He's ran wide here on the corner. He's ran wide here, and he's had to go into the escape bay here and come off of the track. He was
almost 4 seconds up, apparently, on his PB.
So potentially the Inters could be better, but I think he just locked up there and had to go down into that escape lane. Couldn't stop himself in time, and that's really gonna mess up that time for him there. And the only driver not to put in a time here is Tim in the racing points. So he is on his outlap at the moment, but this will be his only lap that will be able to put in a time. So he's gonna have to perfect this if he wants to get near the top of the table there, as he has not put in a time as of yet.
Yep, that is true, of course, and you don't really want to be starting near the back because anything can happen. We could have a Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen, and Verstappen moment into turn 1.
Oh, someone's crashed in Sector 3, sorry. There's someone, I think it was a Ferrari in Sector 3. It was AB Techers actually on the Inters. Crashed in the middle of Sector 3 there, so he won't be improving his time, and he won't be able to, might be able to put in one more lap there on the Inters. Play Dutch and I believe his teammate were colliding there on the. Yes, they were. The two Renaults collided coming around that final corner towards the start-finish straight.
Dutch actually improved as well. He does a 56.6 now. So I think that may be his lap done and dusted, as Tim is still up on his time. But he's got a Toro Rosso of Toussaint right behind him, and both of them are on laps. And I think Toussaint's actually crashed.
Toussaint was on an outlap, I believe. I think it was only an outlap that Toussaint was on. But if he has damage now, which I believe does he have damage? I don't see any damage to his car.
He was actually on lap for you. It's that glitch where it says he's on an outlet when he's not.
Ah, right, okay.
Because I've just looked at the stream now, so he's saying he's on an outlet for you. For me, he's not.
Okay, let me see if I can.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's interesting that.
McLaren's gone off.
McLaren's gone off. Who was that there? I think it was Alex Mack in the final sector who's gone off there.
No, it was Triple.
It was Triple O, sorry, yeah.
As right now then Tim is actually about to finish his lap. He's managed to get a clean lap under his belt without making a mistake.
Don't think it won't be top though. He's ran wide as well. Let's see what time he does put in. A 2:03, so that puts him in 11th. Not what he would have wanted, but it was at least he got a lap in. As he just comes around the finish line, he actually will be able to put in a second lap here on these wets.
As Tekers won't be doing a good lap on those as he's banged it in the wall a few times. As Willie Sanka's currently out on the lap now on the intermediates. I will keep an eye on him as he did struggle there through turn 3.
Well, AB Tekers runs very, very wide there, and it does seem to be those Inters do. Oh, he did actually improve on his time. Moved up into 16th on the intermediates. Willie Sanka is also on the intermediates here. Tim's had to go wide, so Tim probably won't improve on his lap. Play Dutch has finished here, and he's got first at the moment with a 156.6. So that is the time to beat. We've got Tobster, who is going to be coming around in the Red Bull here. Let's see what time he puts in as he comes around the final corner. Very nicely through there, and he doesn't improve. So Play Dodge is still first, and he gets second there in the Red Bull. Let's see, Toussaint is in the middle of sector 2 at the moment. Shankster, 157.2, that's his best time there, and that's where it would be good. Gogola, he didn't improve either, and we've got quite a few drivers as well who've not improved and will stay in their positions.
Well, personally, maybe improving it only a little bit is Willie Sanka and Williams, as Williams haven't had the best form. They've been in the back recently, and I don't believe they've scored any points yet as of lately.
Funny enough, it sounds like the Williams in real life.
They haven't scored any points this season, which is unfortunate for them.
It is, yeah.
They've been up there at points, and then just bad luck has happened, especially with the season with Triple O, as Willie Sanka's apparently up by 2 seconds right now, so he could move up a few positions. Here he comes out around the final corner.
Let's see where we go. He went 15th with that time, yeah, the 2:04, and that is it for this qualifying session. A very wet qualifying session, as it were.
Was there, and I believe that's the first time Willie Sanka's actually out-qualified Rob, Godfather there, actually. I believe that's the first time he's out-qualified him. Well then, the top 10 then is Dutchy in pole with a 156.6, Toussaint in second, Topster third, Shankster in fourth, Salbot fifth, Gorgler in sixth, one shot two down, seventh, Infamous is in eighth, Duke on his debut in 9th. Black Country Mush in 10th. Alex Gunner Mush in 11th. Tim, who's got a 5 grid place penalty in 12th, so he will go further down the grid. Zaza 13th. Dirty Larry 14th. Willie Sanker 15th. Triple O 16th. I didn't get the rest because it went too quickly.
It did go too quickly, yeah.
But you can read the rest if you want, mate.
I will do, yeah. Usually that's what I do. So thank you for doing that, because you usually have to spend ages going down the list of drivers, and then especially when you're on your own, it's quite difficult. So yeah, so we'll be getting ready here to start the race here, and it's 50% here in Singapore. So potentially be looking at a 2-stop today for most drivers. So we'll see who starts on to be starting on which tire. I'm not sure really know. You might know how the tires work in terms of when they've been on a wet qualifying. I can't really remember too much how it works.
Well, with the wet qualifying, everyone does get a free choice of tire, of course, and that could play with some strategies. People trying a one-stop strategy. It is possible, of course. I know a friend of mine who has done soft to hards. I got a podium out of it, but you need to bank on the safety car with that strat. Another strategy is medium to hards, and you need to look after those tyres. So it's very interesting. But the quicker strategy is medium soft, I believe. But I could be wrong. I have been wrong before with that, as no one's gone on the soft tyres, but there's a lot of people going on the hards, especially Dutch, who's in the lead right now.
So could those people on the hards be going for a hard and then could be going for a one stop onto the on the medium tyres towards the end of the race? You reckon?
Possibly, but if there's a safety car in play, they could stay on the hards for a lot longer than, say, up to around about lap 27, and then they could go softs, or lap 25 and go softs, and that'll be a push. As actually the top 4 not waiting around, they're literally absolutely flooring it.
Yeah, you don't really want to do that on your formation lap, do you? Because you can get tyre wear immediately on that formation lap, which is what you want to try and conserve as much as possible.
Fuel issues as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll be burning a lot of fuel right now. As Salvo's actually taken it very smartly on the hards. Shanks has now pulled back a little bit just so he can possibly get some heat into his tyres. Actually in the top 4 is actually the only person who's on mediums is actually Toussaint. So we could possibly see the Toussaint take the lead into turn 1.
Potentially, yeah, because he will be on the on that faster tyre, and I think I believe there's only 6 drivers who are 5 drivers actually. Apologise, 5 drivers who have started on the medium tyre. So be interesting to see how their strategies compared to everyone else's.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I'm very surprised actually the people who didn't make it in the top 10 have actually gone mediums. I would have maybe gone hards, because everybody else near there would usually go hards, try a different strategy. But they're playing it safe, and with Tim's 5 grid place penalty, he did move to 17th in the end. So Willie Snake actually got up to 14th. So I think he'll be even happier now with that position, and possibly could score Williams' first ever point this week. As we are coming into the formation lap right now, as Toussaint will be looking at that Renault of Dutch and try and hope take him into turn 1 and take the lead of this race.
Yeah, and he will have that inside line as well going into to turn 1, 2 and 3 actually. So be interesting to see how Toussaint makes a good opportunity out of that starting position there and being on the medium tyres. So I think all the drivers are lined up now, and we are now counting down the Singapore Grand Prix here.
As the light's gone out.
Not yet.
Very big hold.
And it's lights out and away we go. We've got a good start here from Play Dutch actually. Let's keep an eye on here. There's a couple more drivers. So there's a bit of contact there between the Force India and the Toro Rosso there. A few more drivers overtaking each other. There's movement all the way down the grid here as all the drivers are quite clumped together as they come down towards this DRS straight here, which won't be in play at the moment, but
Duke's
keep an eye on
gone.
it. Someone's gone into the wall, and it is Tim. I believe, yes, it is Tim, the Academy League winner, has gone into the wall, and also Duke has gone as well. So both of them drivers were looking to see if they could get themselves into the top 10, but have crashed out on here in the first corner. And there's a couple more battles going on as Toussaint took play Dutch. But Toussaint is now into first.
Toussaint takes the lead now, which will be good news for Dutch, as he possibly could pull away on those mediums. They will be a lot easier to wear down, but they're going to be a lot rippier compared to the hards. So if Dutch wants to make the move, he's going to have to make it as soon as possible.
Very soon, yeah, as he is right on the back of Toussaint here, but Toussaint looks to be pulling away a little bit actually as they come down this straight here, and you can probably see the difference in tyre there as see all these drivers now, and had a couple of movements around on the grid here. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah, a couple of drivers moved up. AB Techers actually and Natty both moved up 5 places here. And Duke had an unfortunate start. I think he hit some contact actually and moved down from 9th place there all the way into the back of the grid. So
yeah, that is true. But also a person who could score the first points for their team is Willie Sanka, moved up 2 positions, currently in 12th right now. Not that far off 1 point position right now, which is Zaza in 10th. So right now Willie Sanka will probably be enjoying the way he is right now. Tekers, however, is not that far behind, so he's going to have to watch out.
Could be scoring the first points for the Williams team here.
Yeah. So the only team who haven't scored any points at the moment. Next to them, I believe, is Renault with 7 points.
The play Dutch is in second place actually, so he'll be scoring big points for the Renault team if he stays up there.
I don't think he's actually a full driver. I think he's just a replace there, because it's Checkmate and Gavra who are the full drivers. But I don't know if they actually score for that team.
Be interesting to see whether it will or not.
Ooh! Oh no! It's gone pear-shaped for Willie Sanka.
Willie Sanka, he made contact. It looks like Zaza as well was involved in that. I didn't quite get to see what happened there, but there's a virtual safety cars out. I think there's debris on the track
like
here.
X-Natty was actually going to make a move, and unfortunately he looked like the Ferrari behind him touched the wall, and it just caused like a big shunt from the McLaren into the Williams, and then the other Ferrari.
A bit of a chain reaction there between the cars in the collision.
And that is a shame for Willie, because he was actually not that close to it, and it just cost him a bit of wing damage.
He does, yeah. He's lost his front left, it looks like. I think also Alex Gunn, Mac, I think, had a bit of... Did he have a bit of damage there? I couldn't quite see on his car. No, actually he didn't. It was just Willie Sanka's front left has gone there. I'll tell you someone who did make the best out of that collision there was AB Techers, who moved up into 11th place in the Ferrari.
Yeah, he is now in 11th. I thought it was actually him who was involved with the incident. It was actually Zaza. So Tekers then is looking quite comfortable in 11th and have the best qualifying, of course. And could possibly get some points for Ferrari.
There we are. Both the drivers there who were involved in that collision have both come into the pits of wing changes there, and they've both gone into a set of medium tyres there. So we'll see how that plays out for them, as Natty moved up the grid there and got a good pass on Black Country Mush there, who's now being pressured by AB Techers in the Ferrari behind him. AB Techers there is trying to look for a move on Black Country Mush, as he's gaining ever so closer to him.
As right now though, the Toro Rosso and the 2 Red Bulls were fighting quite closely earlier. Now it's just the Toro Rosso and a Red Bull. As 1-2 actually did get past Topster earlier. So the Red Bull drivers looking quite confident on those mediums.
He's looking to have to see how their strategy pulls out when the pit stops start coming in. And there's quite a number of gaps here. AB Techers is right behind Black Country Mush, actually down in 10th and 11th here. One shot down is close to Gogola as well. Toros and Red Bull there. Keep an eye on them. Triple O here is close to Dirty Larry in the McLaren there. Dirty Larry in the Alpha, so trying to move up the position, see if they can get into that top 10 as both their teammates are in front of them.
Looks like 1-2 may have a go. He has gone in. Oh, he's gone really deep.
He's gone really wide there. Yeah, he has, and it looks like Toaster's good. Sorry, Gogola has fought back there, and he's managed to get that position back from the Red Bull.
As Duke has left the session. Hopefully he can make it back. Yeah, I only just caught the end of that. It just looked like 1-2 down was not making the corner at all there, and it was I think a last-ditch effort trying to make the move. As he's quite late on the brakes in certain corners, which if he rear ends someone, he could spin them.
He could do, and he's got two Red Bulls behind him actually, so there could be a bit of strategizing going on here between these two Red Bulls, trying to find their way around 1-2 down. But seems to be sorry, not behind. Sorry, get behind Gogola actually, but it seems that Toaster is slightly slower than 1-2 down.
Oh, Black Consumption has gone off. Same way Bitekas went off in quali, but no wing damage, as I can see in the car.
Zaza and Willie Sanka there, both overtaking each other down in 17th and 18th place. AB Tekkers is now into the top 10.
Oh, 1-2 downs hit Gola. They've gone off where Verstappen. Oh no.
They have. Gola's moved all the way down.
Yeah, 1-2 down just literally turned into him and it spun him. That was a bad hit, and Gogola will not be happy with that. And luckily, no damage. I don't think.
Luckily not. So he definitely will not be happy with that. Is the interesting battle here to see between the two Red Bull drivers who are quite close to each other. Just keep an eye on these guys because there's only a few tenths between them. So it seems to be 1-2 down. Seems to keep on pulling away though from his teammate.
That is true. So he is on the medium, so I believe the lead Red Bull should be pulling away a lot more than what he's doing.
Alex got a Mac. Sorry, so Alex got a Mac, almost run wide into a wall there. He's being chased by Black Country Mush. Alex got a Mac running wide again in the McLaren there, and Black Country Mush is just gaining ever so closer with him running wide there. But both the Red Bulls are close once again.
Yeah, they have closed up, and as I was saying, where the hairpin corner is, if there was actually DRS there, and like where it is in real life, it possibly could have been a passing overtake, but unfortunately, Codemasters haven't actually put that into the game yet. So it's right now the Red Bulls are just buying the time. But it also could be a strategy call. 1-2 down could be just pulling his teammate along to try and keep him with the pace of the medium compound of tyre and try and help him score some valuable points, as they're currently 4th and 5th right now.
Definitely be trying to increase that gap, so when the pit stop does come around, it won't be able to won't lose that as many places as he would if his teammate wasn't helping him potentially.
As to say, is on a mission right now. Current gap between him and Dutch is 2.8 seconds. Was 3 seconds a bit ago, but he's losing a little bit of time now, and that might be because the mediums are starting to slowly wear. They should be able to do around about 15 laps at least on those tyres. But this isn't good for Shankster. As to say, it will be scoring more points at the moment if the race ended like this.
It would be, yeah, and that would affect the table, wouldn't it? As I think Toussaint is in first, isn't he? Just by 4 points, so be giving Toussaint even more of a lead over Shankster here.
I just caught Black Country Mush there. He's got wing damage. I think Triple O's gone. Oh no, Triple O hasn't gone off. That was lag. But yeah, as I was saying, Black Country Mush has got a bit of wing damage on his front wing.
He does, but he does seem to be keeping up with Alex Gunner Mac. But he's being pressured behind now by the People's Champion Dirty Larry in the Alpha. So it could potentially be that Alex Gunner Mac is the slower car here, and that Black Country Mush is being able to keep up with him, as Dirty Larry's now really pressuring Black Country Mush from behind here.
That's true.
Quite a close gap here between these three drivers here. I'm sure they'll be trying to fight to get into that top 10 position. As Black Country Mush runs wide, he locked up a little bit there and had to run wide of that corner. May have opened up a little bit of time for Dirty Larry. Oh, Dirty Larry's almost spun! Dirty Larry spun, and he's massive oversteer there. Just coming out of that corner into that straight, and he is spun massively.
Well, he hasn't lost. He's lost a little bit of time, but not that much where it would cost him in the pit stop window. He probably could do an undercut and gain all that time back, as Black Country Mush has wing damage, of course, and he has got a penalty as well. As Alex Gunner Mac then in 11th, slowly close on Tech, as it looks like.
Seems to be, as well as AB Tekka seems to be the gap between the top 10 and the bottom 10 here. 12 seconds behind Natty, so can show the pace that those medium tyres have to the hard tyres there. Sorry, as both of those drivers are on different tyres. So Black Country Mush is keeping a close distance to Alex Gunner Mac, even with the wing damage. And there's been something happened there in sector 2. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was further down the leaderboard, actually.
I think it was one of the Williams, or it could have been. Yeah, it's Robert. Robert's got wing damage.
Yeah, and it's not looking good again, is it, for the Williams team, as both of them are down in 17th and 18th place.
Yeah, that is true. The only way they could score points now is definitely a safety car or a lot of retirements.
Definitely. And oh, Robert Codfather went really heavy into that corner and has lost all of his front wing now, and he is definitely going to have to come into the pit with that wing damage, and he just late braking there, and he's gone flying into that wall. He's had to come into the pits there to fire that wing damage. And Duke here actually has gone onto the soft tyre here, which is interesting. But I think due to him being that far down the leaderboard, he'll just be looking to race. Oh,
actually, Tubbs is out.
Tubbs is out. Did you manage to see what happened there? He's gone straight into the wall there in the tunnel, yeah. And his wheel has come off, and that is Tubbster out of this race.
I'm surprised that's not a safety car.
Just a VSC at the moment, yeah, and it seems to be the car is in a very interesting position to recover it, because it is right under the bridge there. But it seems to he's just gone really heavy into that wall, coming around to that corner, potentially a lock-up, and is now out of this race. And he was running good there at Tubbster, actually. He was up in the I think he was in the top 5 then, when he was around 4th place, I believe. So he was running well.
And Gogola has actually pitted under the VSC, and Gogola's gone mediums.
Gogola's actually gone for a wing change as well.
So he did have damage then.
He must have had a bit of damage there to Gogola, so he's come in for a wing change. And that has moved him down into 13th place. Just come out just behind Dirty Larry here.
Well, I do got to say, as the Tubbster incident into the wall there, it looks like he has locked up, as you've said, but he's corrected it, and he's just gone a little bit too deep. Oh, there's actually Salvo almost lost the rear end there as well. And he's just clipped the last bit of that little padded wall which is sticking out a little bit. The barrier was actually a little bit out, and I think that's what's just took his wheel clean off.
Definitely, yeah, and he's sadly out of this race as he was racing pretty well, but Toussaint's come in. So the leader, Toussaint, has come into the pits. He was on the medium tyre and he's done 8 laps, which is a little bit under what those medium tyres could do. You could do probably about 10 laps on them before he come in, but he's come in now. Let's see where he comes out. So was the race
He could have done 12
leader.
laps actually. That's very interesting that he's actually pitted, because I've managed, with my driving as well, it might be my driving style, but I managed to take them 14 laps before and they were only at 60%. So it's quite an early stop. However, those hards can go to the end, as he looks like he's coming out just ahead of Infama.
He has, so he hasn't lost too many places actually, due to that pit stop, but there was a big gap that was there, so which is one of the reasons why. But he will be coming out on fresh hards now, so he'll be a lot faster compared to Sabo the Mister here, who's just in front of him in the Haas, who's done 9 laps on the hard. So there'll be a bit of difference in tyre wear there in the two drivers.
Yeah, that will be interesting, of course, as he will be on the fresh hards, of course, now as well. So he may get a little bit of pace compared to the top 3 now. But it won't be that much, probably like half a tenth, as actually Willy Sanka's actually gone off.
Gogola's going for a move. Sorry to interrupt you, but Gogola's going for a move. He's gone for a move on Dirty Larry, and he got the pass there. Very nice pass there from Gogola there around Dirty Larry, and he's moved himself up into 12th position.
Yeah, I did catch the end of that. That was a very good move there. But Dirty Larry's really struggling right now with the hard compound of tyres. So maybe the hards are not grippy at all, as we saw he spun it earlier, and he hasn't really recovered from it. And he's now in 13th.
Does he have? Does he potentially have any? It doesn't seem to have any damage, I don't believe. So, it does seem to just be struggling with the tyres there.
Willy Sanka in the Williams has finally made his pit stop. He'll be really disappointed how this race has gone. Gone on a set of hard compound tyres with a wing change.
So Willy Sanka in, and seems the two Williams drivers isn't looking good for them another week today. And someone has gone into the wall in sector 2. I'm trying to see who that is there.
That's Tim.
It was Tim, yes. It was indeed Tim. Has he got any? Did he pick up any damage there?
See. Oh, he almost loses again. I think he's got a puncture.
Potentially a puncture.
No, has he? I can't tell. It looked like the way he was re-entering the track, it just looked like the rear end was really loose.
He seems to be having a lot of tyre troubles though. He's sliding, his back end seems to be sliding about all over the place here. But he has come into the pits actually. He is coming in. You can see it's like Tokyo Drift for him. His back end is spinning out all over the place.
He also sped in the pits as well, so he's going to get a 5-second added there in his pits.
That isn't good there for Tim.
Yeah,
he's gone into the hard tyre here, so have to see where that will bring him out. I think he'll come out back out in 15th. Ooh, wow. Actually.
Robert's gone off. I think he's just to let people through.
I think he has. Yeah, it looks. I think he's been. Looks like he looks to be almost getting lapped there, maybe potentially. I think he has. Yeah, there's some faster cars coming around behind him. And it's quite a close battle here, actually, between Alex Gunner, Matt Gogola, and Triple O here. The two McLarens involved in this battle. Gogola's quite close to Alex Gunner Mac here. Let's keep an eye on here. As Alex Gunner Mac's been involved in quite a few battles, seems like this race. Down in 10th position. Been a bit of a midfield battle here, so keep an eye. And Alex Gunner Mac is actually on a set of mediums, and Gogola is on a set of hard. So, and Gogola's on a mediums. He's going to go for the pass down the inside, and he gets the pass very nicely on Alex Gunner Mac. We've got a few drivers in as well. Infamella is coming to the pits. Natty and Triple O have all come into the pits. And I believe Triple O is on a set of mediums. Natty is on a set of hards. And Infamella is on a set of hard tyres.
Gogola's really on a man on a mission right now. He's already on Black Country Mush, and these mediums must be a lot grippier. As he's trying around the outside, possibly, as that's a racing point. Tim is out.
He's going for the outside line now. He's going to just go for the inside, and he gets a very nice pass there again. And Tim is out of this race. The Academy League champion, the man who's been so much promise in the other two leagues, is out of this race here in the Premier Series. I almost said Premier League there. It's wrong sport.
Right now though, Gogola is actually making a lot of lost time up on 1 shot 2 down. He's still 15 seconds off, but
he's right behind AB Tekkas here in the Ferrari, who's done 11 laps on the on those hard tyres. So you really see the difference now between the mediums and the hards, as Gogola is powering through this table here. This will be his third overtake now if he gets around AB Tekkas.
As the Williams and Willie Sanka actually lets both these through, as Tekkas don't get a good run.
Oh, Gogola, he's gone around the outside. He's gone around the outside here, and I think he does get the pass. Yeah, it's a very nice pass there, actually. He went round the outside out of that final turn, close to the wall, and he gets a very nice pass there on AB Tekkas. Robert Codfather gets a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Won't really affect him too much as he's down there in 17th, but he does come into the pits. As Gogola here is moving violently up the table, but he's got a bit of a gap now between him and the Red Bull here. 16 seconds, but he is actually bringing that gap down between 1 shot 2 down, but both on 4 laps of hard and mediums. So we'll have to see, interestingly, how those drivers pan out. And AB Tekkas actually is moved up a full 11 places here. He's done very well in this race so far, moving all the way up there. Made advantage of that collision that happened at the start.
Yeah, that is very true, as he has got through the field quite well, and he could actually finish in 6th, possibly, because Gogola will have to make another stop. There's no way those mediums can last to the end. Hards definitely can, but mediums, you'll probably get a punch on around about lap 26, lap 28, if you're not careful with your tyres, and if you lock up a few times. So right now, Gogola isn't safe for 6th place at the moment.
Safe at the moment, but he has, but potentially there are 4 drivers below him who have not made a stop yet. AB Tekkas, Black Country Mush, Alex Gunnermack and Dirty Larry all haven't made pit stops yet, so it'll be interesting to see when Gogola thinks of coming into the pits, of when these other drivers do so as well. So and the top 3 also have not pit as far because they're all on the hard set of tyres.
Yeah, that is true. They're on 13 laps. They'll probably stay out to around about lap 26, 24, 28, round about in that area. So they've got a lot of tyre life left. They don't have to really push that much, as Dutch has actually pulled a big gap to Shankster, actually. 12 seconds the gap is right now. So it looks like Shankster isn't looking that quick today in Singapore. It doesn't look like he's going to get a win at all at the moment, especially with that gap. And the gap between Toussaint and the leader is 30.3 seconds. So Dutch, if my pit stop time is correct, could actually take the lead when he pits.
I'll have to see. What Shanks will be hoping for here is probably a safety car here. Would really help him out for that, to see if he can get up into first position and get the points jump on Tucson in the championship.
That is true, of course. As Toussaint, as we're on about him right now, he's currently in 4th, not that far from Salvo in P3. As it looks like he is now starting to close up and possibly will attack for that position. And started making his way to catch up with Shankster. As this and Triple O are the only battles right now. Triple O's not that far from Zaza. Well, could see a possible overtake between Triple O and Zaza right now. Zaza's really struggling on the medium compound of tyre.
It is Zaza. I'm sure Triple O will be trying to look for a pass here as he will have DRS as he comes up. Oh no, Zaza's coming. Zaza has actually come in, so he's come in. He's did 11 laps on those medium tyres, so respectable tyre length for the mediums, and he'll be going on to. He's gone onto a set of hard tyres there.
Yeah, it's very sensible there to go on the hards, especially if first stop, of course. Triple O though won't be happy that much now. He's got a bit of clean air, but he may have wanted that DRS. To try and build a bit of a gap from Zaza to try and close up on X90, who's currently 13.3 seconds ahead of him.
Definitely.
It's possible to catch him up, actually, from that. There is a lot of laps left, of course. Shanks has lost a lot more time now, almost 15 seconds ago to play Dutches now.
Yeah, and I think did Tucson get the? I believe Tucson got the pass on Sabo there. There's a yellow flag.
Infamous out.
Infamous out. It looks like he's crashed down at the end of that straight coming out of Sector 2. And we now have another virtual safety car. Which would be interesting. Let's see if anyone pits under this VSC. I'm not sure if anyone will, but we'll just keep an eye.
That wall's in a very dangerous place.
Oh, there's a Williams have crashed. So someone's gone off. It's Robert Codfather who's crashed in the Williams down in that wall. Down in
I'd have a look at Shankster right now, just on his POV, because that wall is like really far out.
That could be interesting there.
I don't know if
is it that? Yeah, I think was it that wall he's just gone past there down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seeing it there. That was sticking out quite a lot actually into the track. So, I'm not sure whether the game will fix it or whether it'll stay like that. We'll have to see.
No, I think that game it'll stay. I've seen it in Canada before, where it disappears and reshows, and it can actually retire your car. It's basically like a safety car barrier.
Yeah, interesting to see. And Natty just came into the pits. He's gone onto a set of medium tyres. I don't think he moved any positions though, but he has come out on a set of mediums. But Toussaint will be flying the quickest at the moment in the top 4, as he is on a set of hard tyres that have done 7 laps compared to the other drivers who've done 16 laps on their hard tyres. There's a big tyre wear difference there between those. So Toussaint, the leader of the championship at the moment, will be looking to see whether he can close the gap on Shankster, who is in second in the championship at the moment.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Shankster is second by 4 points, and he was actually, last time I commentated, I believe he last time was leading the championship, and then it switched to Saint then recently. So it's been fighting tooth and nail between Shankster and Toussaint all the way through this season. They've been the only two fighting for the championship, which is a shame. It would have been a lot nicer if there was a few more drivers, but the season has been exciting, and right now the drivers are still pulling it off as Robert again goes into the pits. I believe that's his 5th pit stop.
Yeah.
So that's his third. That's his third pit stop.
Third pit stop.
Yeah.
Still quite a few drivers though at the moment who haven't pit. The likes of Play Dutch, Shankster, but we know what their strategy. Oh no, there was a bit of damage actually. Young Shankster's got a bit of damage. He's hit into the wall again, but he had a hit into the wall and he's come in. So Shankster's come in now. Let's keep an eye on this because he hit the wall coming out of the tunnel, and I saw a bit of his front wing fly off there, his front left, I believe. But Toussaint's going to actually go ahead of him, so Toussaint has now gone ahead of him here. Shankster's getting a new wing as well, so it isn't looking good at all for Shankster here in terms of the championship.
No, not right now. As now 1.2 down's actually going to get past him as well. So that pit stop with that front wing has cost him three positions altogether. With Hussein, Salvo, and 1.2 down passing him. We're getting out to Hussein, and the lead is now 32.5 seconds. If Hussein wants to try and win this race, he's going to have to start picking up the pace.
He's definitely going to have to. And Playdutch and some of the mister here of both 17 laps on those hard tyres, so we'll probably be seeing them coming soon for their probably one and only pit stop of this race. Have to see how they fare here. Who else has not made a pit stop as of yet? AB Techers hasn't made a pit stop. Black Country Mush, Alex Gunnermack, and Dirty Larry. Those four drivers are in 7, 8, 9, and 10th. Have all not made pit stops, and they are in a similar situation to first and third here. Oh no, Playdutch just come in the Renault. Playdutch just come into the pitch. Let's see where he will come out. I believe Toussaint he's a 32-second gap, so Playdutch could possibly come out in front of Toussaint here, and I think he will, yes, because Toussaint has just come around the final corner here. Let's see whether he can pull out some sort of speed here, but I don't think he will. No, and Playdutch has come out in front of Toussaint, but it'll be interesting to see how the tyre wear plays out towards the end of this race, where those mediums could only go about 12-14 laps, as you said, whether the Toussaint can do 17-18 laps here, as shown on the hard tyres. So it was interesting to see how that battle goes down towards the end of the races. There's only 6.3 seconds between them.
Well, yeah, you are right, and I'm actually surprised actually they pitted actually this early. You know, it's very surprising. I thought the hards could go a lot longer than that. But Black Country Mush has got more damage to his car, as that's what the yellow flags were for, of course. So he will be pitting. He may retire the car in the pits.
He's coming into the pits here. It looks like his front right is damaged there. He's coming in. Let's see. Dirty Larry does take him. He's gone onto a set of mediums, so he's made his first pit stop of this race. And it's going to be a wing change as well, as he said, for the damage. Let's see where he will come out in terms of triple O also pit. I think this is his, I believe his second pit stop of the race. Yes, that is his second pit stop of the race now. So he's now come into the pits, changing his wing as well. I think he must have caught up a bit of damage somewhere. Black Country Mush out in 11th place. Still, I believe, still 3 more drivers who have not made pit stops in 7th, 8th, and 9th, all on the hard tyres. They're doing 18 laps, so they're sticking with their strategies as they were. Not coming in as early as Playdutch did, but have to see how long they will go on for on these. And oh no, he spun Dirty Larry actually. Massive oversteer and straight into the wall, and picked up a 5-second time penalty because of exceeding track limits.
Oh, that's a shame then for him. Now he is in 9th right now, but just some interesting information from our championship points leader. He has got wing damage on his right side. Now maybe this was the reason why Dutch had a big gap coming out of the pits of 8 seconds, as right now the gap's now 10.1, so he's losing a lot of time to play Dutch. So he may, if the damage gets a bit worse, he may have to make a scheduled pit stop, which will help Shankster. Shankster's in 4th on the fresh mediums, not that far.
Shankster, I believe, potentially could get ahead of him on that pit stop, because I believe there's only trying to figure out how much time is between them. About 12 seconds, I think. Yeah, there's about 12 seconds between him and Toussaint. So if Toussaint wants to make a pit stop and change his wing, Shankster would go ahead of him in the race and would go ahead of him in the championship.
Yep, that is true, of course. So Toussaint needs to be careful and not make it into the wall, but there's a lot of laps left. And if Shankster can get past 1.2 down as quick as possible, he could gain a lot of time on Toussaint. Let's look at that already. Dutchy has just set the new fastest lap, so the mediums are the quicker tyre than the hards. So it is possible that Shanks, if he can get a move on, get past 1 shot 2 down as soon as possible within the next couple of laps, he could possibly catch up with Toussaint.
There's been something happened in sector 1 there, I believe. I didn't quite see who that was. But Alex Gunnar Mack came in for his, what seems to be his first and only pit stop in this race. He's come onto the medium tyre, and Dirty Larry also came in for a wing change due to the damage he picked up as well. Both gone onto the medium set of tyres.
Yeah, those memes can go to the end now. Is the right time Sabo and Gogol is actually having a fight.
Seems to be, and it looks like Sabo. Shanks has gone for a move on 1 shot down. He went for the outside line and he got the pass. Very nice move there from Shankster.
Yeah, it's a very good move there. Timed it perfectly. Now he now has to push 100% now if he wants to try and catch up with Toussaint. And already the gap's slowly starting to come down there. He gained 1600. There we go. Now 2/10 within one corner. So Toussaint, it needs to watch out right now. Shankster will be a man on a mission on those mediums.
Yeah, definitely. Only 10 seconds behind Toussaint, and Toussaint definitely having that wing damage, and Shankster being on a nearly a fresh set of medium tyres. And no, Shankster's gone into the wall and he's out. Shankster's gone into the wall, and it's the wall that was sticking out, as you said, and he's gone straight into that wall, and as the wheel has come flying off, and he was just late braking at the end of that straight, and he is now out. And what a mix-up here we're going to have in the championship. And look who's come in due to that. Look who's come in due to that accident. Toussaint has now come in, and he's going to make the most of his pit stop while he can, as Shanks has gone straight into the wall.
Yeah, actually wasn't that wall sticking out, actually, from where I've seen it. It's actually, the wall was actually intact. So you just must have lost the car control completely in the braking zone and locked up, and just lack of judgment. And unfortunately it's cost him in a retirement, which isn't good, and I believe that's his first retirement of the season. And it is, he's had podiums all the way through the season, same with Toussaint. But this will be his first DNF for Shankster, and that is going to cost him a lot of points in the championship against Toussaint.
Definitely, and it looks like here the 4 drivers here from 2nd to 5th here have all come into the pits. Toussaint's come in and gone on a set of soft tyres, but the safety car is out, which is why quite a lot of these drivers have pit now. 1 shot 2 downs come in, got into a fresh set of mediums. Sabo the Misters come in on a fresh set of softs. Gogola's on a fresh set of medium tyres here. So quite a few of these drivers have made the most of this safety car change and have gone onto a fresher set of tyres here while the safety car is in play, and it could potentially back the pack of the grid up here, as quite a few of these drivers, the likes of Dirty Larry here, has just now moved up into a points position. So what real upset this has been to the whole of the entire grid and the championship.
Yeah, that is true, of course, but I don't think Toussaint is going to the end on those soft. There's no way, even with the safety car. The safety car's going to be out for 3 laps, so we're around about lap 25. Now that's going to be a push for those softs to go to the end. They'll be really overheating on the right side of the car, or the left side, depending on how the aero packages work, of course.
Play Dutch has come in, actually, and he's gone into a set of softs as well, but with only 8 laps remaining in this session, those softs could potentially get them to the end, but they wouldn't have the kind of grip that they would if they were to go on to something like the medium tyre.
Oh yeah, that is true. They could have the problem is with the soft tyres, when they will start overheating, probably on the left side then. So the left front, for instance, will be getting overheated. Now that can be an issue, especially where Shanks are retired. Now that wall is still sticking out, and if it does overheat and it makes you just struggling on the turning, you could end up in that wall, and it could cost you a retirement and possibly in a safety car. So they're going to have to be careful with the tyres, and they're going to have to manage them. And in my opinion, the best way to manage the tyres is to be a lap down on fuel and just save your fuel and just use your ERS to get on the track. Dutch has actually caught up now to the safety car. So I'm quite surprised none of the others have actually caught up with the safety car yet.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. I have to wait until all of the drivers catch up to the safety car pack before the safety car can come in, I believe. So, just waiting on those drivers to come around the track and catch up with the back of the pack here. So just waiting for the drivers now to come round here to go get to the back of the pack of the safety car, and the safety car is, I believe, just coming around towards the start finish straight here. So take a look here, and someone has come into the pits, and that's Zaza, and he's gonna have to fly around all the way around the track here before he can get back to the back of the grid.
Yeah, that is true, of course, but he may actually be doing this to steal the fastest lap from the top three. Oh, sorry, first, second, fourth. As their tyres will be a bit worn, not worn completely, but they'll have a couple of % on their tyres, which could knock a little bit of performance. And as I said, could cost the race completely with overheating issues, as well as they will be behind a car right now as well. And actually, Dutch has got a bit of a buffer behind him. He's got a Williams in between him and the Toro Rosso. That will be interesting as well with the start sequence.
Indeed, yeah. As the Williams is all the way down the back of the grid there, and it's going to be interesting to see on how that works, because he's right in the mix there of the front drivers. So whether he potentially off the start will move out of the way and let them get on with their business, or will he go for a push as well? I'm probably assuming he will just move out of the way and let them get on with their racing. Triple O has just come into the pits in the McLaren, so we're just waiting for these drivers to back up the back of the safety car here, and then we should be ready to restart. And Triple O's gone into a set of softs and has done a wing change as well.
It's true, he's actually had a decent wing change as well with that, and safety car will be coming in this lap, so they're not waiting for the rest of the drivers then. Well, the safety car has started to go away, so Playdutch will be controlling the pack then, so he may actually be generous and could wait for Williams anchor, but people are going to have to watch out.
Looks like Triple will be going around towards the back of the grid. Just waiting on, I think it's 3 more drivers now to catch up to the back of the grid. I'm trying to see who is. There's someone there. Oh, I think he's just an AI car there, but just wait. No, the safety car. Has the safety car come in? Yeah, the safety car has come in, so we've restarted. I didn't even realise. The safety car has come in, and Robert Confiver did move out of the way. But he has left a gap in between Playdutch and Tucson, who are both on a set of fresh softs. So this is now on the quicker, who can be the quicker driver here? It's now a 2-second gap between the front two.
Yeah, that is true, of course. The same probably wasn't actually expecting Dutch to pull back a bit of a gap, and Dutch does look like the quicker driver right now. Right now, Warren Truck 2 down is in 3rd on the medium compound tyre. Now this could play into his favour and could possibly make him win the race. As I did say, those soft tyres could still overheat as we're only on lap 25. there is battling further behind X90 versus Tekkas. Tekkas a bit wide there.
A little bit of lock up there from
he's
AB
gone off.
Tekkas. Yeah, AB Tekkas locked up a little bit there. But it seems to be all clean at the moment. Keep an eye because these drivers are very close. Only 5/10 between them. Just keep an eye as X90 is going to be trying to look for the pass on AB Tech, and it's surprising how close behind he is because AB Tech is on a fresher set of medium tyres.
You are true, of course, with that. And he's already picking up the pace. Tekkas again makes a mistake into turn 1 and 2, and he's really loose through turn 3 there. So X90 is being very smart, staying behind him. DRS, I think, is enabled now, so he could possibly go for the overtake with DRS. As Yellow's in sector 2, that's a Renault. That's Dutch. He's gone off.
Dutch has gone off.
The lead has gone off.
So the lead has gone off, and he's now being attacked by One Shot Down, who's right behind him now as well. Did he pick up any damage though? Did he just run wide?
I think he might have just ran wide, or he went deep, like with a lockup or something. Because, as I said, the tyres with overheating, so he may have already got overheating issues already, which won't be good news. As there's more yellows, Tekkas is out.
Tekkas is out, and there's now another safety car. Tekkas is out, and it was down in the start of sector 2, and we'll just see Zaza go. Just have a ride in with Zaza and see what actually happened. As he'll be coming around towards where the accident happened.
Well, unfortunately, we are going to miss it, but I think the way his car was, it looks like he's either been rear-ended or he's just lost it completely in the braking and the rear snapped and he's trying to correct it, and the right front side just plowed into the wall on my point of view, which I saw. But no, that's very unfortunate for Tekkas, as yeah, that's really unfortunate there, as he was having a nice tasty battle with X90. But I'll tell you, with someone who will be enjoying this right now is Willy Sanka. He will be 11th soon. He's still a lap down though, of course. But one more driver to retire and he could get a point in this race. He could get a point,
and this was looking really, really bad for the Williams team earlier on in this race. And then Dirty Larry just made a pass under a safety car. Now I think he has just let Willy Sanka past, but I think it was just the drivers going too slow there, and there was a bit of overtaking. But it was looking bad for the Williams team. But it's if Willy Sanka could potentially get himself up into a point position there and get the first points for the Williams team.
That is true then. If he can, it would be really good news for the Williams team, of course, and they won't be that far off the other team.
So Tucson made the most of that play Dutch mistake, and it seems like he is now up in first position. But Play Dutch will hopefully be trying to get a good start back out of this safety car. See if we can get them back up into first position here. We'll have to wait and see.
Give me a second, I just need to type something. 2 minutes.
Let's have a look here. Let's see. So One Shot Down in third position. So let's see who has made the most position changes. In 9 moved up 10 places there from starting position. Very good race on him. Be battling through all of the pit stops and safety cars, has moved slowly up the grid throughout the race. A few other drivers have done well. Some unfortunate drivers, Shankster was looking for his points, and that is really going to affect the championship, him being out here. Tim had high hopes for him, seeing his ability in the freshman and the academy league, both not obviously lower leagues than this, but he did win the academy league, and he is been racing very well in the freshman league, so be interesting to see whether he can redeem himself in the next race. Sadly out here, but we're just waiting for the safety. Willie Sanka's come into the pits, so he looks like he's going to be trying to push for a top 10, as he's going to potentially, I believe, go into a set of softs. Yes, he does. So he is going to be, and he's gone for a wing change as well. He must have picked up a little bit of damage at some point, and now come onto the soft tyre.
I think the Williams team are going to run out of front wings. The amount of front wings they've had to repair this race. Triple O's also had to have a front wing change, so there might have something gone on under the safety car.
Potentially, yeah. I didn't really catch what happened there, but maybe something did happen under the safety car. This is Triple O's fourth. That was Triple O's fourth stop of this race, and also Willie Sanka's fourth stop of this race as well, which is quite incredible actually. But quite interesting what tyre. Triple O there, he actually went onto the softs. That was on my screen for a second there. He was on the hard tyre, but he has gone into a fresh set of softs. He'll be looking to catch up to the back of the grid. I think he will now be the last driver to catch up to the back of the safety car before we restart.
Yep, that is true, of course. I believe the safety car's got one more lap.
Safety car is still out, so Matty isn't now far behind the rest of the pack, and then we should hopefully be able to restart.
So we will be going out for another lap then.
Looks like it. Hopefully the safety car will be in this lap, so we can get back to some couple of laps left of racing here. It's been an interesting race today. 2 safety cars, a couple of VSCs as well, so it's been a big mix up here. And Triple has now joined the back of the grid, so Tucson will be looking for a very nice start here, but I'm sure Playtosh will be right on his tail here, as both the drivers will be looking to see if they can get first places.
In this lap, of course, it has to have 2 laps within.
AB Techers is out actually. I'm not sure what's happened there, but AB Techers is gone.
No, AB Techers is the one who caused the safety car.
Thank you for that. On my screen, they just moved down behind Robert Codfather, so I thought he'd gone off of the track, but yes, he was the one that had crashed into the wall there and caused the safety car.
Person behind Willie Sanka is again in 10th place, is Triple O, so if Willie Sanka wants to try and score points for his team, he's going to have to somehow pass everybody and come back round.
I highly doubt that will happen, but he can only hope for a miracle.
Oh, he's actually hit Zaza there.
He did just hit Zaza. Doesn't look to be any damage though. Maybe it was a little bit, but nothing visually that I can see on his car.
So then with the safety car coming in this lap, you're saying he's going to be really slowing the field down very shortly. As I don't know if this happened for you, but 1 shot 2 down keeps like going under track on the screen?
I don't. I think that might just be on yours, because no, he is actually going under the track. Yes, I've just witnessed it there. But Play Dutchess right on Toussaint's tail, but Toussaint got a good escape actually out of that corner. But Gogola, Sabo's running slow. Sabo the Mister is running slow, but is he just letting everyone pass? No, he is running slow and he's out. No, he ignored a drive-through penalty and he is now out of this race.
Well, hang on, that's a bit harsh. How can they do a drive-through penalty?
And Robert Codfather also is disqualified as well. I think he missed a drive-through penalty as well.
That's just that's just silly. How can they do a safety car within that lap when it was still under safety car conditions?
Not sure.
That's going matters for you.
Could they have not come into the pits once the safety car had ended to serve their drive-through penalty?
I don't know if that still counts as safety car condition because it was still yellow until they passed the line, but they could have.
Potentially,
but
yeah.
They could also been told. You could have also done like glitch where it doesn't tell them that they actually have one, but for us it does.
Yeah, we'll have to see there, but that's unfortunate for them too. Both disqualified, but let's keep an eye here as Play Dutchess right behind Toussaint here as they're coming around now towards the final lap of this race. Final lap of this race here is Play Dutch seems to be putting everything behind that Renault as his back end was swinging out there, and they're both drivers on the soft tyres, so they're both on the quicker tyre, but done 7-8 laps on them, which is probably to the extent of what that soft tyre can do. So both drivers on quite worn out soft tyres, so we'll have to see. And it looks like Play Dutch just going for he looked like he was going for a pass, but Toussaint found some speed, and Play Dutch is going to stay behind him. So we're now on the final lap of this race as Play Dutch is very, very close behind, and I'm not sure what the penalties look like between the drivers who are remaining in the grid, but we'll have to see where everyone finishes as Play Dutch is still right behind Toussaint here. Let's keep an eye as he's battling. He's run well a little bit wide there, left Toussaint a bit of room to work with, but he's right behind him now as he goes through that corner. Both drivers still very close, 3 attempts between them as they are now coming around into Sector 2 of this final lap here in Singapore. Can Play Dutch make the pass on Toussaint? Oh, and he done this contact! Play Dutch has gone into the back of him. It's only light contact though, and he keeps on making little light touches, but we could potentially see a pass here on this straight.
It's true.
See here, oh, he's so close coming around that corner, but Toussaint keeps the lead. This is going to be very close here coming into these final turns. Oh, they've gone wheel to wheel. They've gone wheel to wheel here, but Play Dutch loses out again. But can Toussaint get... Oh, Toussaint loses out and Play Dutch overtakes him and gets the first position. And this could be a final lap. This could be final pass victory for Play Dutch as he passed Toussaint on the final corners. And I think he will come round and win this one potentially if he had no penalties, and he does. And Toussaint gets second. One shot down, gets third. Gola gets fourth. Natty is going to come round and claim 5th position. Alex Gunnermack in 6th. Dirty Larry finishes in the top 10, and that is it. And what an ending we had there to that race there.
Yeah, what an ending indeed. Unfortunately there for the Williams driver, just missed out there for getting a point. He did actually come 11th in the end, and it wasn't to be there, and it was a very entertaining race with 19 drivers starting, only 10 finished. Sorry, 11 finished.
Yeah, so very interesting race and very good race from quite a lot of these drivers here, and it's Play Dutch who wins, and Toussaint gets second, and he pulls the gap here in the Premier Series, and he opens that 4 lead gap that he had up to even further now. So there's the final standing. So we had Play Dutch finished in 3rd, then it was Toussaint in 2nd, one shot down in 3rd, Gogola in 4th, 90 in 5th, Zaza in 6th, Alex Gunnermark in 7th, Triple O in 8th place, Black Country Mush in 9th, Dirty Larry, the People's Champion, finished off the top 10 and got the final points. Willie Sanker and the Williams just missed out on points here for the Williams team. And then here are all the drivers at the end here who did not finish. And the 2 drivers, Sabah Lamista and Robert Codfather, who both were disqualified for not serving their drive-through penalties.
Actually, hang on a minute. Willie Sanker might actually get the point. Dirty Larry had 6 seconds worth of penalty. He had to be within that 3-second gap, didn't he, to get the point? I think he was in that threshold, but I don't think the game has actually said he has. For some reason.
I think Dirty Larry had a 6-second time penalty, and Willie Sanker had a 3-second time penalty.
So you'd have to be within 3 seconds.
Within 3 seconds. I'm not sure whether there were 3 seconds between them at the end there.
Just try and get it up for now. Let's have a look then to the line. It shows up. Just doesn't made him because it's not showing up at the moment. Look. Was he within 3 seconds? He might have just missed out by 500ths.
That is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the Williams team, but I think that is going to be a hit here in the Premier Series. Thank you for joining me, and probably won't be seeing me for I'll be over in the Academy League and Freshman League later on this week. But thank you for joining me, and we will see everyone next week. Is it next week? I believe you know this more. You know more than me.
That bit actually, I think it is next week. We have another race. I'm not 100% sure. It's usually Ez, I think, usually knows because he usually lets me know. But if I'll try and find that information for tomorrow from Gavra if there's one next week. So if there is, I should be here with Eza, I believe his name is again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a very interesting race today. And it's unfortunate for Willie not to get that position by penalties.
Yeah, it's been interesting for me as well to see all the different drivers and their abilities. So yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys, and we'll see everyone in the next races. See you later.